Hello everyone, welcome to Reading with Reference. My name is Kim Christopher. I'm a reference librarian here at the Haverford Township Free Library, and I am here again to share with you some reading recommendations. So first off, I have the book Uprooted by Naomi Novik. And in this story, it takes place in this faraway distant land in a small isolated village where the villagers, simple peasants, they live in constant fear of the dragon, this powerful wizard who, in return for his services and protection, demands that every 10 years the villagers gather up all the fair maidens of the village so that one of them may be selected to be sent to the tower. And amongst the girls this year to be selected is young Agnieszka, who, instead of being afraid for her own life, as they don't know exactly what the dragon does when he sends them to the tower, is more afraid for her best friend Cassia, who is the fairest of all the maidens in the village that everybody knows will be selected by the dragon because of her pure heart and will. But instead, the dragon chooses Agnieszka. And once whisked away amid her confusion to the tower, it is discovered under the cold and watchful gaze of the dragon that Agnieszka has a powerful magical gift, and that for better or for worse, once it's discovered she has this gift, she is dragged into the war with the woods, which, like a parasite, is spreading its poisonous influence across the lands, killing and destroying everything in its path. And once again, for better or for worse, with her powerful gift, Agnieszka may be the key to finally ending the war, once and for all. Yeah, Novik with Uprooted. You don't have to be a fan of fantasy to enjoy this book. You can tell she took elements from every single fantasy, fairy tale, folk tale you may know of, combining into this story where you don't have to the swords and sorcery, Dungeons and Dragons of fantasy to enjoy this, because when you're reading it, it's full of rich, lush detail that feels like it's several books into a series, just like she took her time to write this and think about every element to inject into this story with interesting characters, a great storyline. Everything about Uprooted, there are times you forget you're reading a fantasy story just because of how well written Uprooted is. And so yeah, I would highly recommend it, Uprooted, if you are just looking for a really, really well-written book. It'll hook you from page 1 until the very end. You cannot put it down. And so yeah, I highly recommend this as a read. And then here I have second thing to talk about, A Wealth of Pigeons by Harry Bliss and Steve Martin. Yeah, Steve Martin. And there's not much to explain here, where Steve Martin, he's collaborating with the Harry Bliss, who is a cartoonist for the New Yorker magazine, to create these, single-panel, New Yorker-inspired kind of cartoons that are full of, Steve Martin's wit and humor, and you don't even have to know or like Steve Martin to enjoy this book. The humor in it is just either introspective or just laugh out loud, in the kind of comics you want to, tear out the page or copy it and put it on your fridge or someplace where you see it all the time and laugh and chuckle. It is just a really wonderful collection of humorous cartoons, and so yeah, I would highly recommend this if you're a fan of Steve Martin, love the New Yorker magazine or cartoons, and you also need something to just laugh at. It is just a really wonderful, humorous collection of comics that is full of just wit and humor that you would expect from Steve Martin. And finally today, I have here the graphic novel series Hack Slash. And in this, it follows the adventures, shall we say, of the character Cassie Hack, who's the survivor of a traumatic encounter. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, excuse me there. where was I? Oh yeah, traumatic encounter, a survivor traumatic encounter of a slasher attack, serial killer, and Cassie Hack, instead of being content to go on with her life, be happy that she survived an encounter with this deadly serial killer slasher, she decides to embark on a quest, accompanied by her loyal partner and only friend in the world, Vlad, to kill all the slashers, be they human or otherwise. And her adventures, they take her on so many, bloody encounters with human being serial killers to deadly creatures like Chucky from the Chucky's franchise. And even at some point encountering the Evil Dead from the Evil Dead franchises. And yeah, so this series, it is just, it combines everything from, all the classic slasher films you can think of, Saw, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, to all the hardcore action flicks, to create this really insane, bloody roller coaster ride that, just keeps you reading just to see how Cassie and her best friend, the deformed gentle giant Vlad, take down all these slashers. And that's why I would recommend this as a read, as it takes the slasher genre and turns it on the head, because there's no naive central character who's waiting to be attacked, so to speak, by the slasher, the serial killer, that you're on the edge of your seat wondering when the slasher will attack, kill them and everything. But Cassie, like I said, she's on this quest to kill the slashers, so she's always hunting down the villains, the killers, and that's what makes it interesting, where for once, well, these slashers, the monsters, the killers, they're the prey, in this case, you could say. I mean, people are still being killed by these slashers, but yeah, those slashers, those serial killers, they're being hunted by the central character in this series. And that's what makes it just a really fascinating read. So yeah, I would highly recommend this if you're tired of the typical horror stories where, like I said, just waiting to see what happens in the beginning character, who's going to survive, who dies. Just, yeah, instead, like I said, the slashers, the serial killers, they're the ones being hunted in the series. So yeah, really bloody, fun ride that just, you can't put it down until you see how it's all resolved. And that's everything I have in terms of recommendations for today, at least. And until we see each other again in another Reading with Reference, please know that the library is still closed to the public. We are open for our curbside contactless pickup, where it's the hours Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 8, Thursday, 10 to 6, and Friday, Saturday, 10 to 5, where you can request things on the library catalog, or use the curbside contactless pickup form on the library website. You will get a notification when they're ready for you to pick up. You just come up their front door, tell them you're here for your holds, your first and last name, circulation staff or whoever else is on duty will grab them for you and check them out to you and give them to you, so you can just take them and go. Or you can even just call us when you arrive that you're here for you to pick up your items, that you're in the parking lot, and we will bring the items out to you on a cart, so you can just grab them with no contact from us. And for now, I think that's everything I have to say. Until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and take care, everyone.